It's Michael Martin. I've been with K&B about 10 years, 9 months. Well, K&B back when I started, like I said, I started over the road. And it was okay. It was other companies I've worked for, they kind of, didn't have a perfect schedule. One day you might, or 1 week you might work, a bunch of hours. Next week you work very few hours. You get paid by the miles you run. Well, I said, hey, this doesn't work because there's a lot of things that interfere with your mileage.
Right.
You have a flat tire, all this, broken radiator. I had a broken hose, airline hose. It took them 5 hours to fix it. Well, I didn't get paid for that 5 hours. So I was looking around and I found K&B who guaranteed you $1,200 a month, or $1,250 I think it was at that time. And I said, well, that's what I want. A guaranteed, so I know what my paycheck is every freaking month, or every freaking week, I guess. And I said, man, that's great. So I started driving with them, and after a while they said, well, how would you like to drive less and make more money? And I said, let me think about that. Well, hell yeah. It took me that long. I said, yeah, okay. So I got into the dedicated, and well, everything, when you come in, it's real quick. You just go through your check-ins, and if everything's cool, you're gone. They fix they do preventive maintenance on your truck, and you're in and you're out, usually in a day. If you have to stay overnight, no biggie. You either stay in your truck or go to a hotel. I usually like to stay in my truck because I'm more comfortable in my truck than I was in a motel. So, but it was fast. It's fast, and that's what I like. The turnaround was fast. You're back out on the road driving. So. But I got into the habit of every time I got out of the cab, I'd look at the reefer to make sure it was running right, the temperature was good, and then walk on to whatever I was going to do. Take a leak or whatever, eat. But every time I got out, I started looking at so they didn't have to remind me that often. I was there. So, but that's a habit to really get into, and when they call, you've already checked it. So, but yeah, every now and then, if you go 7 or 8 hours without checking your reefer, it's time to pull over and just give it a little short check.
Right.
So, I like that. Favorite state to drive through? That's a toughie. It's not Florida where I live. Probably Illinois, Indiana. And it's pretty. They don't bother you too much unless you're breaking the law. And I usually stay under the speed limit, 1 or 2 miles under, just to be safe. But people complain about Chicago. Well, actually, Chicago is pretty easy to drive in. Just stay away from. Just read your signs, follow the signs, and you're fine. People that get stuck under bridges and stuff like that are the ones who ignore the signs.